everyone, and welcome back. Just leaving the first week of deer camp, heading back to the farmhouse. Well, I've been up at deer camp for 9 days. Coming back today, I'll be home for a day, then run down to work for a few days, and I'll be going back up to deer camp for the final 4 days of hunting. I don't know if there's any, we're skirting along the Lake Superior right now. I know that it did snow at the house last night, and talking to Melissa, there's supposed to be snow coming in today around 2 o'clock. And since I've been gone, I had 12 cords of birch delivered, about 3 cords of oak or hardwood slabwood delivered. So I'm excited to take a look at that. I mean, I've seen pictures. Melissa sent a video of the 12 cords of wood, but I haven't, I want to see it in person. So get a few things done around the farm before I have to head down to work. And then, like I said, back up to deer camp. More vehicles than I've seen in over a week. I already don't like it. Time to go in and see my baby. It's been 9 days. Melissa has meatloaf in the oven right now. She's going to do some, I think, macaroni and cheese and green beans. Here's the slab wood that got delivered. They said like a 44-inch bundle, so I wasn't sure what size it was going to be compared to what I got last year from a different place. I paid like $100 a bundle last year, maybe a little more. These were $40 a bundle, and I got 5 of them. That's not bad at all. I was worried because I got that birch delivered. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But I didn't have a whole lot of real dry wood if you're going to run the stove in the workshop a lot. This is going to be perfect. Because then I can start cutting and splitting this birch, and that won't be, you wouldn't want to burn any of this until, until next year this time. And it won't be super good until it even dries a little longer than that. It's depending on how small I split it. That's a good chunk of wood there. Once all this gets split, I'll be cleaning that mess up forever. Some of this stuff I could run through the planer and get nice boards out of it. Maybe today I'll get to work on that stovepipe and trying to get the all-nighter over here. I know my dad said that he is still planning on coming up here this winter sometimes and using the workshop. I wouldn't want him to try to figure out how to use that stove. I mean, it's good once it's going, but you still have to watch it. With the all-nighter, you just fill that thing full of wood, shut the damper down, and it's good. But I think I'm just going to go in and hang out with Melissa until after lunch.
I don't have a cup. You got food in there, beauty.
the door here, it needs a new gasket. It's needed one for quite a while. At the hobby farmhouse, you would shut the door, and then sometimes this, like, you know, you go to latch it, and it would just loop all the way around because it didn't have enough cushion. It would go too tight. And I do have 3 different kinds here. I thought maybe it was going to be the 1/2 inch, but I don't think that's enough. I've got 3/8, 5/8, and a half inch. So I want to try this 5/8. That seems so big, but I bet you that's what I'm going to need. Yeah. That's what it's going to take. I've got 6 feet here, so I'll have plenty. That's going to make it real nice. Well, I have the all-nighter installed, and I put the adhesive and everything on here, and now I'm going to start this stove and just keep a low fire in it because I need to warm it up for a couple hours for that to really cure and dry good, because I mean we're not going to be warm for many months. It's really tight now. Before you would slam it and it would just bang metal to metal. She's not as pretty of a stove as that one is, but this stove really heats. Oh, I have to run into the store. Melissa's making some chicken enchilada soup or I don't know what it is, but anyway, apparently there's different color enchilada sauces, and anyway, she got the wrong kind, so I said I would run up there and grab it for her. Everything here seems to be working good. If the workshop is still here when I get back, we know we did a good job. Degrees. The roads are going to ice up quick tonight if it keeps snowing like this. It's ridiculous. It's only 6:30 and it's dark. I mean, it gets dark now at about 5 o'clock, and but we only have 5 more weeks. I don't know, something like that, and then the days start getting longer. I think I'll park over on this side, run into Super One, and since I'm here, I might as well go to the liquor store. 2 cans of green enchilada sauce, lots of beers. Let's head back. Everything seems to be working good. It smells like the smell when you put a new stovepipe on a stove and it burns. That's what it smells like in here. And I really want to crank it up and really get it heating, but I just have it really low right now. That's the nice thing with this stove. You shut that the damper down and you shut the draft off on the door and the fire will go out. And right now I've got it just open a little bit. and it has to stay this way for about another hour, and then I'll probably come out and put another log in. But right now I'm just going to let that cure for a while and make sure everything is okay, but it looks like it's a success. I think I'm going to go inside and take a shower. I haven't shaved now in 11 days, so that's going to feel good too. Now that I got the stove hooked up, this wall right here from the door to the wall is not insulated on the back side. I've got enough insulation to do it all. I just haven't got to that yet, so maybe I'll throw that in tomorrow. It's going to suck though. It's not going to be too bad, but when I, built the wall, everything was in this room and it's kind of tight, but that's really going to help. The wall that was here was a sheetrocked wall and it was not insulated, so there was no insulation. There's never been any insulation in this section of the workshop wall. So what is it that you're cooking?
Enchilada chicken soup.
How long is it going to take to make it?
About 2 hours.
Wow. It smells good.
It does.
I still haven't made it to the shower yet. Ended up burning all the cardboard boxes and talking with Melissa. That's one of the nice things about the all-nighter. You can really fill it up, shut the door, shut it down, or turn it up, whatever you want to do, and it'll burn for a long time. I posted a picture of this on the community Facebook page for Joe and Zach Survival in Northern Seclusion, and I did get a couple questions. One lady said that she's going to miss this stove here, and I really did like this stove. I mean, it's a prettier stove. It almost has a romantic feel to it, which was nice in the workshop, but I really do need a unit that just heats. And this one, you'd have to put wood in it more often. It's more complicated to run if my dad comes up here and has to start the stove, having to let it warm up and everything. He's just, he's got patience like me. It's not going to work all that great. And somebody else said something about the heat output. This stove here will put out way more heat in the long run than the other one will, just because you can fill it up so much, and it's just a really good stove. So for in the workshop, I kind of need a workhorse to heat when because you guys see the videos, we get some cold winter days here, and this thing should be able to keep up fairly easily. We'll come back out in an hour and check it out. You can just feel the heat emanating off this thing when you walk up to it. I'm extremely happy with this decision to switch out that old stove. I think this is going to be really nice. I'll probably come out and check it one more time before bed, but everything seems to be doing pretty good. Looks like about 1.5 inches of snow has fallen so far. Seems to be getting a little bit lighter though. Whatever this is that Melissa made is done, and it's really good. The last stove check of the night. It's almost 10:30, it's time for bed. I shut it almost all the way down, so there's not a whole lot of heat coming out of it. I think I'm going to open it up just a little bit. Winter is trying to arrive. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. I was out here maybe an hour ago and loaded up the stove. There was still coals in there, so I just put more wood in there. It was 23 degrees then, and it was 56 in here. Now it's 25 outside and it says it's 71. So that isn't a real true, I mean, the stove is working awesome, definitely putting out more heat than the other stove, but it's not a true test. Most of the wood stoves will stay real good till it gets down to about 15, and then as you go lower than that, then you can see what kind of a stove you have. And then of course, as soon as you're down to 10 below zero, then, you know, it might not keep up that good. That one wouldn't. I think this one should be fine, but... The one thing I'm watching on this stove is it has a lot of connections, which isn't really your friend with a wood stove. And this here, in the right situation, this pipe should have went inside of this pipe, and then this pipe inside of the stove. Same up here, like this one goes inside, that's the right way, but then here we have the opposite. And when creosote builds up in here, it'll run down, and creosote stinks. And you can see where it's run down a little bit right here, and you'll walk in and you'll smell that creosote smell. And that mainly happens at night if you shut it all the way down, and also if you have real dry wood, you don't have that as much of a problem either. With the old elbow that I took off the stove, see, like this is a connection, this is a connection, this is a connection. The other one was accordion-like, and so you had no connections here. It was just in and in, or, you know, just those two. I'm gonna see, I don't know if you can still get them. I'm sure you can, but that's a better route to go. Melissa, she's still sleeping, so I was up, I'm still editing on the deer hunting video, so I was just doing that, and I do want to get the potatoes bagged up today that are in the basement because it's been over 2 weeks now. Otherwise, I don't have a ton. I'm not going to do a ton of stuff. Work starts tomorrow again, and now we got the crappy cold weather, but I only have 2 more work projects to do for this season, so that are outside. Well, Melissa's in there. She's going to make a keto meatloaf. She made regular meatloaf yesterday. And she's doing that, and I don't know what else she's cooking, so there's nothing for me to do in there but edit a video. So I thought I'm going to come out here and let's get that wall insulated so that part is done anyway. I'm getting there. It's too much climbing around, nowhere to put a camera in here, but I am getting it insulated. That's all I've got for craft backed. So these will have to be just like an open, no back on them. Eventually when I move this out of the way, I'll put a piece of poly on the back side of it, or finish this side of the wall, whatever I decide to do when I figure out what's going to happen with this part of the workshop. I have everything insulated, and then I went and spray foamed along the tops and any gaps that I could see. So I think that's really going to help in keeping it warm in here when it starts getting cold out. I think I'll go inside and see what Melissa has cooking. It's almost lunchtime. Well, this afternoon for the last hour I've just been picking stuff up in the workshop, cleaning it up a little bit. I think it's time I go in and get those potatoes bagged, and then I have to get some stuff out of my truck and stuff packed into my truck for this week at work. But it was getting to be kind of a little bit of a mess just walking around in here. Well, it's time to get the potatoes into bags. They should be cured very well by now. It's been over 2 weeks. These are all my purple ones. Anything that looks damaged, I'm going to not put in the bag. I think that's all the purples. This many here is what are bad. Like here, the pitchfork or the potato fork went through it. Anything like that. Same with this one. And there was one of them was just like this one looks fine, but part of it's like a different color. So it's just I can't see green. It shouldn't have been green, but you know how sometimes when the potato grows, it'll stick out of the ground a little bit, and that'll cause it to turn green. So those anyway are going out. Okay. And when you store potatoes, you don't want to wash them first. Leave the dirt on them and wash them when you're going to eat them. Nope, that one has a hole in it. We can take that one out. Some bug got at that one when it was in the ground. I mean, if it has big chunks of dirt on it, like this here, you can get rid of that, you know, but you don't want to wash them. I had to have Melissa come down here because I couldn't tell where the red ones stopped and the russet ones ended. I couldn't tell the difference in the color. There we go. Potatoes are all into storage. With these potatoes here, you could just cut the bad parts off and eat them right now if you wanted to, but you're not going to want them in a bag because they might start rotting, or a couple of them already are, and that's, you know, going to make the next one rot, and just a big mess. The proper way when doing those potatoes, you put them into storage like that, come back now in 1 month, dump those out on the floor, go through them all again to make sure that nothing bad is happening to them, and then throw them in. You can be pretty confident they're gonna stay. You know, people will ask for how long. You can keep them for months. It all depends. It stays kind of cool down here in the wintertime. It's dark, you know, when the lights are off, which helps a lot. Light and heat are your biggest. Light is the worst, and heat also is bad for storing potatoes. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. Not a real long video, but definitely got some stuff done. I'm glad that all-nighter wood stove is in there. I will see you guys on the next video.